Curious, as these teams start to take shape in 2023 and then 2024, like what was your leadership style in conjunction with a player like Caitlin, but also the rest of your teammates?
Yeah, I would say like definitely those first 2 years, we definitely were working together to like, I was definitely more of like the calmer presence and being like, hey, like look me in the eyes, you know, deep breath, like it's all gonna be okay. And I think like the leadership style that I really had was just like trust. Like she trusted me because she had seen me like putting in the work in the gym. She knew how much I cared. Like,
what occurs when your closest friend is the most talked about player in college basketball? Kate Martin isn't holding back. Kate talks about their memorable journey through Iowa, including Caitlin Clark's crazy court antics and the hilarious mayhem off the hardwood. Imagine one wayward squirrel, inside jokes, and slam dunks. Wondering. You ought to be. This goes beyond basketball. It's genius behind the scenes with a dash of humor you didn't realize you needed. To put it mildly, Iowa was never dull.
Wrap your head around 139 games. Like that seems like a ton of games, and lucky enough we've had postseasons where we've got a lot of extra games, whether it's been the Big Ten tournament, whether it's been the NCAA tournament. We've been able to have some long seasons, and that's something I'm really thankful for. And to be honest, like I don't think I have the type of career if I don't have a teammate like Kate. She's been one that has had my back. You know, she holds me accountable, I hold her accountable, but I think at the same time, like me and Kate are wired so similarly that like we get each other on a different level. She's so competitive, you know, her dad was a football coach.
That entire period was famous. Complete folkloric status, that is. The team mom, the locker room therapist, the floor general, the sideline hype squad, the glue, the heart, and somehow the team prankster was Kate Martin. She was more than just a basketball player. Even if you were sitting in your living room on a Tuesday night, you would want to dive for a loose ball because of the caffeine intensity with which she lived it.
Because you were the first person who I felt like said, yeah, Kate Martin's a pro. Like, draft Kate Martin, she's going to be able to do different things. I think you started saying that you're either sophomore or junior year. And, you know, media members aside, I'm not, you know, maybe it's me, maybe it's not me, not going to throw myself under the bus here. We were like, you know what? I think she could be a fringe WNBA player. She has potential, but, you know, Caitlin's given her endorsement. If there's one thing I've learned about you in covering you for 4 or 5 years or whatever, how long it's been, when you talk ball, you genuinely talk basketball. Like there's no personal relationship attached. So I guess, how do you feel about Kate doing really well and unrivaled so far? And now she's getting a chance at the Valkyrie to really make a statement.
She is currently living out her WNBA dream, which is similar to a real-life sports film, except that she is the star, director, cinematographer, and most likely the composer as well. Don't fool ourselves. Kate was more than just the squad captain for Iowa. She was the epitome of teamwork. Kate was the one who made sure everyone knew the scouts stayed locked in and remembered to water, even if Caitlin was nailing logo threes and defying the laws of physics.
So Caitlin Clark revealed her squad goals, sort of. This is a play on words, a pun, if you will, just having a little fun with Caitlin Clark's latest interview. She did an appearance with, I believe his name pronunciation is David Eichel of Swarmcast 24/7 Sports. I will link the full piece in the description.
Kate Martin was always the one to provide Iowa with a halt, a spark, or a caustic comment to defuse the tension. Oh, you mean the actual House of Splash, Golden State? The place where a 40-inch vertical is worth as much as basketball IQ. Could a player who is all hustle, brains, and hustle again find a more poetic place to land? She blends in well, hitting corner threes as though they offended her, establishing screens as though she's getting paid per bruise, and slicing through defenses like a hot knife through defensive misunderstandings.
Real quick, what did you notice about Caitlin's like work ethic?
Yeah.
Was there anything that stood out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she was in the gym constantly. Yeah. And it was like the way she approached everything too was like, it was like with a sort of excellence. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to go through the motions and like whatever. It was like, no, like I'm here to kick your butt in every single drill, every single practice. Like, and especially whenever our like gray squad guys were playing against us, it was like, if you're across from me, you're my enemy, you know? And like, I think that's just kind of how you have to approach things to get better. And she had that, you know, next level mindset, and it really just raised us all up with her.
Kate offers that Midwestern toughness and unwavering determination that shouts, "I boxed out for 14 years before I ever took a shot, even though the Warriors may have the flash." Also the entire draft night storyline, which merits a Hallmark film of its own. She had no intention of being drafted. She likely expected to be shouting, clapping, and possibly stealing a Sprite when she showed up to support Caitlin. She's walking up in heels the next moment. She walked in unexpectedly and shook Kathy Angelbert's hand, asking, "Wait, me?" In WNBA history, that was the most innocent narrative twist. And my gosh, she flourished in Vegas. Naturally, she did. Kate doesn't play supporting parts. She entered the locker room as if she had been there since Bill Lambert created defense, even though she was a newbie. Kate demonstrated that Big Ten mentality by dominating those mid-practice drills that no one else likes to run, or by playing hard-nosed minutes in actual games. No weak sauce, no days off, and no excuses. In about 4 seconds, she defeated Becky Hammond. She accomplishes the little things that lead to huge things, which is why even the veterinarians adore her. She is aware of where to go. She shouts the appropriate thing at the correct moment and communicates like a point guard with a PhD. She also doesn't flip the ball over as if it were composed of lava.
The workout or training video, I've discussed how Caitlin Clark is going to have time to work on her game that she otherwise hasn't had before. She went straight from college to the pros, grueling schedule to start the WNBA season. It's a scary thought for the rest of the league. I've articulated that on many occasions, but she said it herself too, which of course adds fuel to that. And then the other was Unrivaled, and Kate Martin's performance at Unrivaled. Kate Martin has looked great thus far at Unrivaled, obviously. Kate and Caitlin.
After the transfer to Golden State, the basketball gods formally said, "Yeah, she's one of our favorites." Because Kate Martin is essentially a living algorithm in that system, which is based on movement reads and split-second decisions. She cuts the back door for a layup as soon as you blink. She's nailing a three as if it were a practice shot when you assist her. Before you can recover, she's speeding past you, dealing it off, giving a child in the third row a high five, and clapping defensively because you overplayed the handoff. It makes so much logic that it's almost aggravating. Furthermore, Kate is more than just a player. She is a presence. She was observed by every Iowa supporter, impartial onlooker, and even casual fans who turned in because they believed Caitlin was going to drop 40. As if it were Halloween candy, she was in the huddles pointing things out, giving backhands, and offering encouragement. The fans sensed it too. She has a devoted following of fans who wear her jersey even when she is benched because they know she gets it. She understands the purpose of sports.
Like looking back on it, and then even just talking to you now, it's like, yes, Caitlin is like a big focal point of the team.
Yeah.
She's gonna have to do a lot of the scoring, all the things. And you, it's almost like good cop, bad cop or something.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean it in like
No, yeah.
literal terms, but she just had to like be herself, and that was gonna win you games. But
Yeah.
then you had to come in and kind of be like a calming
Yeah.
effect, and that's
Cooperation, modesty, perseverance, and the quiet capacity to chuckle when the referee calls a charge that was clearly not a charge. Her story is the result of combining hard work and passion, fate and preparation, and a dash of shine to make it truly unique. And to be honest, there's something enduringly fulfilling about seeing someone who wasn't meant to succeed. Kate's accomplishment seems intimate. It's similar to seeing your best friend get promoted and then unofficially take over as CEO. She was that teammate who cheered everyone up, gave up open shots to give someone else confidence, jumped for balls during 30-point blowouts, and always appeared to be having a great time. Although the Iowa team as a whole was based on cooperation, Kate served as its focal point. The unheralded hero became a hero. Years later, we're all still joking around like it was last week. Remember that one time, Kate? And you never truly quit that squad when you have the same passion for the game as she has. It's with you. You turn into it. Because of this, Iowa supporters cheer her on as if she were still in the Big Ten tournament. Cece still beams when she speaks of her because of this.
Y'all, I think teammate relationships are like some of the most special and unique relationships you can have. This is Caitlin Clark, this is Kate Martin. They both played at Iowa, and tonight they'll play for the first time in the WNBA. And this is the moment that they see each other for the first time on the court. Like I said, the teammate relationship is already so special, but you can just imagine in Caitlin Clark's position, where she's already admitted it's quite isolating being this popular at this point, so much so that she doesn't really go out very much. Not to mention there's been so much criticism online, not by the players, but simply the territory that comes with being a popular woman in the...
Because of this, every former teammate most likely has a tale about how Kate Martin kept me from losing my mind before practice. Perhaps during warm-ups, Kate Martin made a funny remark that diffused the tension before we defeated Indiana by a margin of 22. It's simply uncommon. That type of charisma, chemistry, and vibe. She is the type of person who is very sincere. Ugh, she's so likable, even the rival supporters say. It's interfering with my trash talk. It's likely that even the mascots adore her. They are now pen buddies after she most likely fist-bumped the Lynx mascot. She really is cool. She infuses the main character with vitality in the least self-serving manner imaginable. She is aware of her talent, but she would prefer that you take center stage. She will just be out rebounding someone 5 feet tall and giving out dimes like a vending machine of help. Not for nothing, but more sports stories like hers are needed. Moore put in too much effort to avoid being noticed arcs, even though he wasn't meant to become a professional. There are more people who show up, work hard, and are not just prepared but also overqualified when their numbers are called. But Kate Martin didn't require 12-bag viral clips, dazzling mixtaps, or nil deals. She probably has a couple, to be fair. All she needed was a chance. And she's making every minute count now that she has it.
Great at Unrivaled thus far. There's no question about that. And it's funny that Caitlin emphasized exactly what Kate had said about playing free. Those were the words Kate Martin used when she talked about her unrivaled excellence. So it's fascinating to see it echoed. I don't know if that's because they talked or just they think alike. Obviously, they play alike in the way that they understand where to be on the floor together. They had so much success together. And I think a lot of people are excited about the possibility of what Kate Martin can do with the Valkyries, Caitlin Clark included, despite her saying she wants to...
Yes, I will always adore Kate. I will always support her as if she were still in Iowa City, directing that huddle, diving for that ball, or clapping for that teammate, because her enthusiasm is the same whether she is wearing blue and gold, red and silver, or black and gold. Kate Martin is one of the reasons why basketball has a soul, which it does. Subsequently, there was that run, that utterly insane, adrenaline-fueled run that culminated in their first ever national championship game against Iowa. By scoring 41 points against LSU as if it were personal, and then turning around and scoring 41 more against undefeated South Carolina as if it were a Tuesday cardio workout, Caitlin Clark went above and beyond and redefined what it means to be a walking bucket. From space, you could hear the basketball community's collective gasp. She was doing more than hooping. Every 3 mounters in the basketball opera she was directing were soprano notes that would make your brows stand on end. Let's face it though, none of it occurred in a vacuum. If you don't have a supporting cast that can move, screen, defend, and read your mind like a clipboard psychic, you can't pull off double 41s in the NCAA tournament.
Her last game, Kate Martin had one of the best games in her WNBA career. She went off for 14 points in limited minutes, but let's watch some of these highlights because I feel like she finally found her groove. She was playing in the flow of the offense. As you can see here, she goes for a fast break. She beats her player off the dribble, goes left. And a lot of fans were saying like, this looks like the OG Kate Martin, the Iowa Kate Martin. She is finally, finding her rhythm and getting involved, and she has a much bigger role.
Kate Martin entered the picture at that point, similar to a heart rate monitor-equipped Swiss Army knife. It's not even covered by Integral. The pulse was her. Kate was holding down everything else while Caitlin was out there revising the rulebook's scoring section. The team's emotional thermostat against LSU, the rotations, and the changes in momentum. Kate appeared to have read the script a week ahead of time, as evidenced by her guarded readings. She ended as like it were a job interview. She boxed out like a 1992 power player, hit timely shots, and generally played with the kind of court awareness that makes coaches happy. Then came the South Carolina match, which was a titanic battle between flamethrower David and undefeated Goliath, and Kate Martin delivered. She was making passes that kept the offense moving like a caffeine-fueled torrent, shattering the glass as if she were getting charged per rebound, and staying with college-educated defenders like Velcro. Although Caitlin's daggers are often remembered, any true Iowa fan will tell you that Kate Martin was responsible for keeping the train from going off course. When someone appeared overwhelmed, she would give them a brief shoulder squeeze, calm them down on the bench, then calmly drill a corner three like, "Don't mind me, just saving our offensive possession." She accomplished all of this without ever making it about herself, which is another factor. Maximum impact, zero ego.
Say so. Like, I just remember you have that summer before, and she was doing things that I had never seen anybody do before. And as a freshman, to come in and have that kind of confidence, like, not everybody has that. Like, I was like, oh, I haven't really seen anything like this. And so we knew she was going to be outstanding. And then, yeah, at the beginning of the year, we had some big wins, and there was highs and lows that year for sure. But, you know, it took us a little bit to figure it out. But, yeah, it obviously turned out better than I could have ever expected.